Hi everyone, I'm BJ Muir from JesusHelpMeParent.com, and I help families just like yours to use a heart-based approach to parenting. So if you want practical parenting solutions that bring about real and lasting heart change in your child, click that subscribe button right now. And in this video, we're talking about sibling conflicts and how the solution for sibling conflicts is honor. And it comes to us from this email from Monica. Monica writes, "Hi BJ, summer is about to start and I'm worried about my kids just getting into arguments and fights all day long. What do I do? Help! Monica." Well, the solution for sibling conflicts actually starts before we get into the conflict. It starts by being proactive, by teaching our kids to honor. And in this video, we're going to talk about what is honor, how do I teach it to my kids, what are some practical examples in family life, and how do I get my kids to actually do it? So what is honor? We find the concept of honor throughout the Bible, but a really great working definition comes to us from the National Center for Biblical Parenting and from the authors Scott Turansky and Joanne Miller. In their book, Say Goodbye to Whining, Complaining, and Bad Attitudes in You and Your Kid, they define honor as this. Honor is treating others as special, doing more than what's expected, and having a good attitude. One of the strategies for how to handle sibling conflicts actually starts before the conflict ever starts. It's called building relationships. The more we can strengthen relationships, the more we can avoid conflicts from even happening, and the better we can weather conflicts when they happen. Because the reality is, sibling conflicts are going to happen, but how we handle them can change in family life when we start using honor in family life on a regular basis. So how do I teach honor to my kids? I'm going to give you 3 quick ideas to help you with this. First of all, you want to go down to the description down below and click on the link that gives you the free honor printable I have for you. That printable has a nice one-page printout that you can print for your kids and you you can hang up. It's a nice little poster with the working definition so you and your kids can start just remembering what this definition is, and that way it comes to mind anytime you say the word honor. Also in that printable is a handy parent sheet that gives you some different Bible passages and practical ways to implement honor in your family. So go ahead in the description down below, grab that link right away. That's going to help you a whole lot. The second way that you can teach your kids honor is by using your Bibles. Get out that Bible and just pick a story to talk to your kids about. And after telling them that story or reading them that story, point out honor in that story. You can pick out something like Rebecca when the stranger comes to the well needing water, and she notices his camels as well and waters all those camels as well. She treated that stranger as special, did more than what was expected, and had a good attitude. You can talk about the little servant girl in Naaman's household who sees Naaman sick and who takes it upon herself to do more than what's expected and go to Naaman's wife and tell her about the prophet who could help bring some healing. You can look at how the story that Jesus tells of the Good Samaritan. That Good Samaritan treats that injured traveler as special. He does much more than what's expected, and he has a good attitude while he does it. The way Jesus treats different people when he brings healing or ministers to them is showing honor. And then you've got Mary washing Jesus' feet and showing him honor. So there's lots of stories and lots of places in the Bible that you can use to show your kid what honor looks like. The third thing you want to do, though, is you want to model honor for your kid and get them actively involved in doing honoring acts of service within the context of family life. Now, how do you do that? That's what we're going to talk about next. So what are some practical examples of honor in family life? What does this look like day to day? Because we're not going to have a bunch of camels stop by that we can water, right? It's pretty simple. When your kid comes back out from outside with that handful of dandelions for you and says, "Here, mommy," or "Here, daddy, I picked these for you," that's honor. They're trying to make you feel special. They did more than what was expected, and they had a good attitude about it. That's what honor looks like. Or when your child brings his hamper downstairs to the laundry room without even being asked to, that's honor. When your child makes her bed and then makes her sister's bed also. That's doing more than what's expected. That's having a good attitude. That's making someone else feel special. You want to look at those three parts of the definition, and any way you can involve that in family life, that's bringing honor to somebody. You can honor a whole family. For example, you walk into the bathroom, you see the toilet paper roll's empty, and you just fill it. You didn't empty it, but you just fill it. That's doing more than what's expected. And when you do it with the right attitude, you're honoring at that point. Any small way you can go from just doing tasks to thinking about the people you're doing it for and saying what would make them feel special. What's more than what's expected? That kid who empties the dishwasher and loads all the plates and dishes and everything into the cabinets, but then also notices, even though no one said to do this, but notices the pots and pans sitting in the drying rack and dries those too. That kid did more than what's expected. And we want to point those things out to our kids and thank them for it and commend them for it and point out that's what honor looks like. It's taking this big concept of honor, but applying it to everyday situations by thinking about what's going to make people feel special, what's going to be more than what's expected, and can I do it with a good attitude? So how do I get my kids to honor each other? How do you go from this idea of honor as doing more than what's expected, treating others as special, having a good attitude, and reading some passages in the Bible to actually seeing it lived out in your family? Well, it comes with 4 different things you could do. The first one starts with you as a mom, as a dad, and that's modeling honor. We need to live a life where we are looking for ways to treat others as special, where we're looking to do more than what's expected, and when we're trying to do it with a good attitude. When we're living honor out within the context of family life, when our kids see us actually doing this, it becomes contagious to them as well. This just becomes the way we normally live, because this is really the highest form of obligation is honor. The highest way to live here is to live like Jesus lives, and Jesus always looks to honor in situations. So we want to live this life out as well. That's a tough challenge when we're living a busy life as mom and dad, but it's a challenge nonetheless that we need to meet. We need to show our kids what honor looks like in practical terms. The second way we can do this, though, is to invite our kids into honoring with us. I kind of call this co-honoring. There's a lot of times where we give our kids the definition, we hang it up on the refrigerator and in their bedrooms, and we memorize it, and we learn some Bible passages of it. But when we tell our kids, okay, I want you to find a way to honor today, they kind of fall flat, and they're not so sure what to do and how to make it work. When we invite them into co-honoring, what we're doing is we are saying, hey, kids, I'm going to honor your dad today. I'm going to do this while he's at work. Come, well, why don't you help me out? And you're getting them excited for it, and you're getting them involved in something you're doing. Or, hey, kids, mom's out right now. Why don't we go fold all the laundry and put it away in our bedrooms, and we're not even going to let her know. We're going to honor her. We're inviting our kids into this activity, and we're getting them excited to bless someone in our family. A couple things. One, you notice I mentioned we're not even going to tell her. We don't want our kids to get into the habit of saying, oh, look what I did for you. Look, mommy, look, daddy. We want to teach our kids with honor. The reward is not from getting credit. The reward is from surprising that person and just getting to stand back and watch the joy on their face. The credit we want to get is later from Jesus. It's not now from people. And so we want to teach our kids not to look to take credit for this, but this is more like a surprise we're trying to do for somebody. The third way to get your kids to honor is to issue what I call an honor challenge. So maybe your kids have some chores they do. You can simply say to your kid when they're going to clean up, let's say, the playroom, hey, your chore is to clean up the playroom, but I want you, when you're done cleaning the playroom, to find one way to honor our family by how you clean up this playroom. What you're telling your kid is, do the chore just like we would expect, but then do just a little bit more than what's expected. What your kid should do then is do the normal chore the way they always do, but then look for a way to go that little extra mile. That might involve taking in the playroom, after you pick up all the toys and everything, noticing the one broken toy that needs some super glue and putting it in the workshop for mom and dad to glue together when they get some time in the garage. Simple ways to just go a little bit further than what's expected in that chore. That's how we issue an honor challenge to our kids when they're doing chores. The fourth way to help our kids honor each other is by calling it out when we see it. We talked about how we don't want to teach our kids to take credit for honor, but there's nothing wrong with us noticing it and telling our kids how proud we are of them when we see them doing it. Be an honor detective as a parent and look for it and call it out when you see it, whether that's privately at bedtime or some other time, or it's a little bit more publicly in the moment or at dinner time. But give your kids that positive feedback so they know you're noticing when they're honoring. Be an honoring detective. Now, one last thing before I go here, a tip for you. We want to make sure that when we're telling our kids to go honor our family, or I want you to find a way to honor, that the idea comes from their hearts and heads. If we just tell our kid, hey, when you're cleaning up the playroom, I want you to also do this because that would be honoring, it becomes obedience now because they didn't think of it. We need them to come up with the idea for themselves. So that's why it's so important to continue to invite them into co-honoring with us. So we're kind of planting ideas in their heads by what we're doing, by modeling for them honor, and by calling it out when we see it. That'll help them eventually take that leap and do it independently as well. Honor works because it works on the relationships in your family, and it works on your relationship with Jesus as well. Want to get started on honor in your family? Grab that free printable on honor by clicking on the link in the description down below. Go ahead, print it out, and get started. It just may be the solution to sibling conflicts in your family for this summer. And also hit that like and subscribe button, and even share this video with someone that you would like to watch it as well. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.